Hello friends, welcome to Storytime with Mary and Molly.
And if you haven't subscribed, friends, please do that now and click that bell so you can get immediate notification once we post a new video.
And today's story is called
Mike's Long Walk. Mike was having a bad day, or I should say he was having a bad mood day. Yeah. So that tells you everything. And he and his family were out on a drive. It's back in the old days when they were on a wagon, and he wanted to walk. He was having a fit. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You have to watch to see what happens.
Yes. And today's question is, if you had a bad day, what is something funny that happened to you guys? So comment below. We love to read those comments.
Yes, we do.
So please do that, friends. And enjoy now the story,
Mike's Long Walk.
Mike was in one of his difficult moods. He didn't like this. He didn't like that. Worse still, he didn't want to do anything that anybody else wanted to do. Maybe you have heard of little boys or girls who get this way sometimes. The worst trouble came one afternoon when Daddy said he was planning to take all the family into town. Mama was delighted. So were Mike's brothers and sisters, but not Mike. He said he didn't want to go. He would rather stay home. You would think that the promise of a 20-mile ride in a farm wagon behind a team of horses would have made anybody happy, but Mike was just plain grumpy. For some time after the trip had begun, he just sat still and pouted.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Something's biting you?
Nope.
Anything you want?
I want to get out and walk.
Walk? Cried Daddy. You couldn't walk to town.
Yes, I could. I want to walk.
Don't be foolish. Cheer up and enjoy yourself.
Don't want to enjoy myself. I want to get out and walk. Mile after mile, the wagon rolled on, but Mike didn't change his tone. Over and over, he kept muttering. At last, Daddy decided he could take no more. Reining in the horses, he brought the wagon to a stop.
All right, Mike. If you want to walk so badly, you had better do so.
Mike got to his feet at once, climbed out of the wagon, and jumped down to the road. Daddy started the horses again, and the wagon moved slowly on, with Mike following behind, looking not a bit happier now that he had got his own way. At first he walked quickly to keep up with the wagon, but after a while his pace got slower and slower. Gradually the wagon pulled ahead. By and by, Mike was 100 yards behind, then 200. Then a quarter of a mile, then half a mile. When he looked ahead, the wagon seemed to be getting smaller and smaller, but he didn't care. He was on his own. He didn't want to be with the others. Next time he looked ahead, he could scarcely see the wagon. Suddenly he began to feel lonesome. Nowhere was there a soul in sight, not even an animal. Nor could he see a house or a barn. The stillness frightened him. he looked ahead again. The wagon had now disappeared completely. He was all alone in the world, left behind. Panic seized him. He began to run. Stop! 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 Never in his life had he been so glad to see Daddy's face. Daddy had come back for him. Dear Daddy.
Come on, son, said Daddy, picking him up in his arms. You must be tired by now. How about a ride?
But though he ran as fast as his legs would carry him, he couldn't catch sight of the wagon again. Then he got tired. He couldn't run anymore. He couldn't walk anymore. So he flung himself down on the ground, buried his face in his arms, and sobbed. How long he stayed like that, I don't know. But to Mike, it seemed ages and ages. Then he heard footsteps. Looking up, whom do you suppose he saw? Daddy, of course! Mike didn't need a second invitation. Eagerly, he climbed back in the wagon. There was a smile on his face now, and all his grumpiness was gone. Friends, so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this beautiful story.
The love of the Father is just so heartwarming, and now with Father's Day approaching us in like a week or two.
Yes.
And this story, just the love
beautiful.
of the Father is so beautiful.
It is. And friends, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that now and click on that bell so you can receive immediate notification every time we post a new video. And don't forget to please like, share, and comment. Today's question was,
If you ever been in a bad mood,
right, which we all have been in a bad mood.
and if anything funny happened that made it better.
All better, yes. Don't forget to join us next time, friends, for another amazing story.
Goodbye.
Bye.